Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Topham at the third at your service. Today we're going to be talking about one couldn't survive without the other, which is true, but there's a lot of things that a lot of people can't understand. One can't survive without the other. That's true, yes. That's fact, yes. No lies, no deceptions, no nothing in this. One can't survive without the other. The problem is what a lot of people can't realise. Two halves become a whole, right? We talk about fiction and reality. They're one and the same. But it's how it unfolds in front of you indirectly, right? A lot of people know the the reality of the side of Thomas the Tank as well as the fiction, right? A lot of generations later, they tend to forget the past and just move on with their lives, thinking that's normal. The answer is no, right? So one can't survive without the other, right? The thing is, it's all playing out correctly, correct? There's no ifs, whats, and buts. It's reality, right? One can't survive without the other. When things were unfolding correctly in the correct way for you, right? A lot of people got their own domestically away forward. Right? We know that one can't survive without the other ends up bomb. Right? We don't need that bomb because we know what to do with that bomb and we know how to unravel a bit and solve the mystery, right? A lot of people might say why one can't survive without the other. Have you understood why we exist and why we are flesh and blood to a point, but we are very gifted individuals. We're not BSers, we're not bullshitters, and we're not that. We get that. Right? One can't survive without the other. Right? In your minds, you're thinking, oh, this is cuckoo, this is all that. Right? Forget that. Right? Because whatever happens, what you're doing, there's a lot more damage than good. Right? We know one can't survive without the other. Right? I know that. So does certain people out there who I cannot name. Right? One can't survive without the other. Okay, let's say one just gone, just directly one. What happens if the other doesn't survive? Then you're falling apart, which we don't need. That's the one key for a lot of people, but it's a need to have them both together. It's like two halves make a whole. Right? You can't break it in half and then just think you can get away with it. No, one can't survive without the other. Right? A lot of people know this quote very well, and it's all gonna go Norwich. It's in Orsted / Norwich, Cromer, Knapford, Wellsworth, West Sheringham, West Runton, is Crosby, and all of that. Bing, bada, boom, billy, bang, boom, boof. Right? My family has existed for a very long time, but you're not paying attention because you think that the people that got this problem right now is the people in the Orsted area, which is Norwich. Now, if Norwich can't get it through their thick skulls at the moment, I said you told the truth. There's 258 people actually knowing this. This is the difference between right and wrong. Why, if people did not know that, why? The Bunting side of my family, which no longer exists as much, they worked in Orsted / Norwich. So somebody who knew that my family, that side of the family, ding, 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 red flag, but it's a white flag because you're telling people, or a green flag to say you go ahead. Right? People that knew about me, right, are probably no longer alive now to say, look, he's a real McCoy. Right? That's my papa, sir. That's right, Thomas, in every angle. So what happens? One can't survive without the other. So when people think this is all right, this is all what I know, a lot of people wanting to know more. I get it. But we are uniquely designed to find the other half regardless. My dead grandfather made sure of that. Why I'm pointing at all of you all around the globe, and even Norwich, Orsted, and Alsburg West, which is in Lowestoft and Great Yarmouth, and Bluffs Cove, obviously. There you got Knapford and Cromer, and everybody else knows about it. You see, tick, 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 tick. Why don't you all help me here and say it's true, it's true, it's true, it's true? I get the point. Why one can't survive without the other? Why? We know what needs to be done. We know what needs to connect up. We know what needs to be put right. Why? I got it, so have I. There's a lot of people that know exactly what needs to be done, right? A lot of people may not understand this, so you're going to have to help them a bit. Say this is reality of it. This is not a joke about it. This is reality of everything I have to go through. Oh, never enough. Why? You've got the next generations of the Hatt, 4 and 5, which we have to consider of. They come first. Right, let's just say, let's just give you a heads up here, right? Nearly most of the people out there know the truth inside and out from every corner of the globe. Right? All the pieces were scattered to stop people hunting us down. Right? Just because Duck done the bloody bad job long time ago, or let I say, let's take 10 or 20 years ago, right? We're talking about when I was in my 20s and he was in his 30s, 40s, near enough that way. He screwed up, right? He went to NHS, he went to NSFT, he went all of that shit, saying this is true, this is all true. He was honest with you lot, and I'm telling the same. It doesn't matter. The problem is one can't survive without the other. So you got two of the STEAM team members that are good guys, not bad guys. When I put my foot down, I mean it, guys. Wake up and smell the coffee, will ya? It doesn't take one to know one. But you're pushing your luck. You really want something good to happen, bad happen. It's going to have a good ending here. But you're pushing me. People are asking questions. Shit. Did we screw up? That's the big question that Norfolk Railway's answering right now in their heads, and they can't work it out for themselves. Even Wellsworth Town Council fucked up and all. Bad mistake. It's all true. Two halves become a whole. One can't survive without the other. Now you're laughing? No, you're not. Right, there are people that probably pushing the boat a bit too far. They have to be realistic. You've got the map of Sodor. You've got the realistic version of Sodor. You've got everything in Sodor. Why? Because it's Sodor based. Norfolk is just not just a normal bloody town anymore. Or county, as they say, or Suffolk, even that, and Cambridgeshire, all linked as one big bucket. Why? I tell you now, people would listen, but they haven't got the patience to listen because they work hard, too hard, and they screw up. And I know every screw up you're going to make before you jump off the cliff. Why? I'm not going to ask you to jump off the cliff because I want you to survive, to tell the story, the reality side of it, not just the fiction side of it. People know what needs to unfold to get everything back on track. People know exactly what needs to be done. So do I. But I have my own path to follow. Not just a gaming world. No, 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 no. This is no games. This is reality. When we talk about reality and fiction, like I said, two halves have to be a whole. One can't survive without the other. It's the way it was uniquely designed for everybody. Not just you. I'm not pointing fingers at everybody here. But there's a fact. People can go to that people and say, don't screw up. Why? I'm not being dishonest here. I'm being completely honest. No more emailing, no more telephone calling directly to me at all. I will contact you if it's emergency. Right? You're not gonna get it the old way system like you probably got it in your heads and right now. Right? Telephone calling Mr. Steve on top of that. Alright? Put a sock in it, is the word to put it respectively. You're getting the realistic version, but you have to be honest. One can't survive without the other. The cops know this. So do I. Why 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 put this in the wrong direction when it's all realistic in the first place? Now you got me, you got the realistic, that part of me. Yeah, but there's people out there's a lot of people that's still not fully understanding the situation, right? And then you're asking me, why do I know so many engines and connections of colleagues and all that? Right? If I'm saying this in the correct way, it's because it's realistic, right? When we talk about realistic and fiction and legends, we are legends here. Most of us are. Some are not. Some are just regular people that we come and bump into, become friends with, or the other way, obviously. But then you've got to put in one can't survive without the other. It's how the system works. Even my dead grandfather said that so long ago. He hated hospitals. Right? That's fact. And I hate them as well for what they've done. They screwed up, messed up, and fucked up. Excuse my language. All three in one bucket is not easy. But there are truth, facts, and logic. Right? You've got to look at the big key to this. Right? When people say, I'm being honest with you, look around you. Have you seen people's actions, the way they do it, and they make the consequences at the end? Right? When people email me, telephone call me, and everything else, I'm just going to say, I'm not accepting any more phone calls or emails from certain companies. I trust Microsoft, obviously being the obvious, because that's primary. That's that's the needy, not a wanty. NSFT, want, not need. Right? Everybody will have to come down to terms and realise it's realistic. People are telling you, but you won't listen. Right? People starting to know things, pick up things and work out shit. There are words and mouth where people are knowing these things because it's reality of everything that's unfolding. All they had to do is wait for the timer. Ding, ding, ding. Then when the timer comes through, then you think you've got everything on the plate. I said, no, you haven't. A lot of you just don't know nothing because you haven't been brought up the way we men and women have been brought up. If you were brought up in the way we trade, you will have the same letters and numbers to lead you to where you need to be. Those numbers are supposed to circulate, plus letters of course. But some letters have numbers to them as well, which I can't disclose. But the fact is, one can't survive without the other. You can't just break a heart and destroy it. No. If you really want to be honest with yourselves, look in your head first and learn. You've got the experimental engines to get rid of, which is Lexi, Merlin, and Hurricane to get rid of. Why? Not part of my fleet. They are sideliners and they're not meant to be disturbed. So when people say, what? Joe Newman and Graham and Dr. Wallace? Ding ding, correct. Merlin, Hurricane, and Lexi. You see, when it unfolds in front of you, people are still criticizing about it. I said, one can't survive without the other. And this is why we get this problem, sir. That's right, Thomas, in every angle. And it really works out, and I'm not pressurizing people here. One can't survive without the other. People know it, but they can't realize why. Why is this man dressed up like the fat man he should be? Because I'm Hatt blood. When people call me on the phone, They call me what? You call me an anagram name? You're out. But you have done nothing wrong. I know that. But it's just knowing that information. Once it unfolds in front of you, everything unfolds in front of your eyes. And then you will say, shit, shit, shit. Three shits in one day. That's not normal shit, I would say. But the thing is, when it unfolds in front of you, even my mother knew about this. I know about this. My grandfather knew about this on my father's side and mother's side, times two. Then you're adding up the one little Texas bag. My grandfather, my grandfather's sister knew about this, which is Lily, and Lily knew about it as well. So did Margaret. So did everybody else. Why can't you just leave my family alone for fuck's sake? It's not your fault. I'm blaming the NSFT and the NHS for not putting their heads together a bit more. If they know it's real, why tempt fate and destroy yourselves when you don't need it to be? Why one can't survive without the other? It's fact, it's truth, and it's logic. Duck thinks like this, right? Duck is one of my support angels as well as my stepfather. Of course I get angry with him. Why? Because he can't put the path that I was given is a little bit more um when a path is set for you, you have to follow it to a degree to the letter. Right? It's like a railway path that was given to you. You have to do this and then finish it. Don't have to do it all the time. Can I book appointment with you? Can I book appointment with you? That's Lexi / Joe Newman from NSFT. Right, when it all black, when it goes in black and white, ding ding, it adds up. I told you about a podcast called Experimental Engines. Right? Now I'm telling you the facts, what they could have done if they delay it and delay it and delay it and realise, let things unfold naturally to a point. You have to let it unfold when they're kids, obviously, but when you're adults, you have to get really strict and stern and straight to the point of everything. It's not like an everyday case in every angle, so one can't survive without the other. You're getting what you need, but now you're seeing everything unfold in front of your own eyes and ears. People are drop drawing. They say shit, you know what I mean? And then they go through and on and on and on and on and on and on, like troublesome trucks going down the line and pushing an engine forward, 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 without a stop. Why? You got to realise there's a big, big element in all of this that you can't see, right? A lot of copyright material that Thomas Mattel did own, who they screwed up majorly. Yeah, well, they screwed up that part, but they haven't screwed it up completely because why? While the rest of them managed to finish it off for you for free, for everybody to understand what's unfolding for me. So when you were watching the rest of this timeline, you actually seen my adult life as well as the childhood life has already been told in front of you. Already on the TV show, in the book, already. All you have to do is follow my adult half to fix everything correctly by the book. But it doesn't mention about NSFT or NHS or anything because they're bloody bunch of interfering cunts, excuse my language. When it's all there, one can't survive without the other. I may be angry, but I'm not furiously angry. I'm just a little bit disappointed on the actions they took had consequences. And when you have to put three experimental engines in their places, you have to tell what shit. I have an NHS doctor that knew about me before when I was born. So I can't lie about that. That's fact, that's truth, and that's logic, and it's been seen 4 times already. Right? The other person that would know is my real father, Charles Topham Hatt. Right? But he left me when I was a baby. So work it forward. When things unfold naturally, one can't survive without the other, right? You have the book and you have the reality. They're both one and the same altogether. Why? Because it continues forward with Wild Noresta's timeline with the adult half with season 4 and 5 and the modern years of, you get my point? So you start off the early years with season 4 and 5, then you have the modern years on top. Why, everything that's unfolding in that is my life and my children on the line. Even my granddaughter's on the line. Do you want them dead? You go to prison. Goodbye. That's you lot trying to kill it off. I said, don't push it. I may be angry, but I'm done it for a good damn reason, and I never bullshit. Money talks, bullshit walks. So when bullshit walks with the money, boom boom, it adds up, don't it? But I'm no bullshitter. You see, when things unfold naturally, you're seeing everything unfold naturally. But one can't survive without the other, which is true. A lot of people will end up realizing shit. Why? I'm not being angry with everybody, but it just feels like you lot need a lot to learn here. I gathered there's a lot to learn from the experiences and learning curves and your family's background and everything. Okay, a lot of employees got booted out long time ago in 1969. Right, but it wasn't my fault, nor was it my grandfather's. So we're forward. Then you got my family and everybody else in secrecy trying to keep the magic alive and keep everything afloat. You don't see the magic, it's unfolded in front of your eyes. When it does, then you shut up and learn something from it. It's something that is like a little gift, but at the same time, don't fuck up. Because one can't survive without the other. Right, when we talk about books like fiction and reality, that in this case, it's both and one and the same. This is not a joke. Why do you think I know so much? Because I'm one head of step ahead of schedule. Just a little bit, not too much, because I know what needs to be fixed and recorrected in time. Right, I've got my sons, my granddaughters, then I've basically got her husband, boom boom, obviously, and it all adds up. You can't really screw with reality of it all. The reality side is like, what? Shit. Yeah. Well, it's unfolding in front of you. The Thomas and Trank, the Thomas and the Magic Railroad movies in reality. Everything else is in reality right up to the 2D. Now work it out. It's 24 years and that. What's happened? 2024. So now work forward. You got Wild the rest of this timeline in check. Bang bang, it all adds up. But when you don't roll the rest of this timeline, all you're doing is screwing yourselves up. Right at the same time, opposed to knowing what's supposed to unfold in front of you. My family is a lot bigger than what NHS or NSFT put together. I know there's a lot to take on board. One can't survive without the other. Right? A lot of people make mistakes. Not me, because I already know what's unfolding because I'm the one who's got all the secrets of the trade. But I'm keeping it a secret through the family. But there are people out there that are initially wanting to do a lot of stuff. I said, don't even bother with emails and telephone calling because it won't work. Right? Doctors won't get any more information because it's realistic. It's reality of everything that's unfolding. If you don't believe it, then it's your fault and you're slipped up. Big time. When doctors learn this, they keep their gobs shut and let it play out naturally. Right? When it comes to NSFT, They digging, dig, 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 and then they ended up screwed because they got stuck in a hole. Work it out. To get them out of the hole, you have to tell them to back off. It's like not screwing them up, it's telling them for their safeguard position, they've got to stay where they are. Let it play out. I'm maybe 40 years old, but I still can walk, talk, and everything else. As I get older, I might need their support. But at this moment, it's like saying one can't survive without the other. Why? It's like saying there is a little bit of here and there, which is all unfolding in truth from World the rest of the timeline all the way through to reality. Why? Because the book continues with everything on top. So you got me. Now you're like saying, oh fuck, the real guy's here. Yeah, well, it's the Railway's fault as well on being Heritage Railway's blaming fault for putting the fat man that doesn't actually, who's not actually the real fat guy. I am. Why? I am the son of Sir Topham Hatt the grandson of Sir Topham Hatt the First. So wake up. Why do you think I know so much? Because I have that knowledge to give to you for free. But I can only give out so much. Why? There's a barrier that's telling me I can't give you the rest because it's family trade secrets. Most of my life is going to be strict and stern most of the time because that's me as a personality, but I also have Thomas the Tanks that combine us three as a whole, like this, excuse my language, like that, bing. Thomas, Fat Man, and myself combined as one. If you try to extinguish one personality, you destroy them all. Then you will have the mindless automaton, which is what they call it in some cases, and then you end up screwed. You try to do it with Duck, right? Now I'm going to tell you something. Duck took a lasapine, right? One move. Episode. One move for me, obviously. But because I've been told by a private connection that was epileptic tablet, obviously, it didn't affect my mind as much. But now I'm back on top form. Leave me alone and leave Duck alone. Duck may not understand everything, but he needs to get his head in gear for a lot of it. But he's got too much on his plate as it is. Because he works hard, earns money, plays hard. Obviously, he doesn't play hard. But I'm giving you an example. One can't survive without the other. You see, Duck may be aware of what's going on, but in the day, one can't survive without the other. You see, my my steam team fleet is trying to be safeguarding me since I was the baby. So we're forward, like it would have been with my grandfathers, then my mother, and my father as well at the beginning point. Then it got thinner, thinner as I got older and older and older. Then my family started disappearing. Then what do? You rely on my family, don't you? You rely on family. We talk about family comes first above all else. Why? A lot of people will say, think about yourself before others. Well, I thought about others first because they come number one. Priority. Right now, I've got to think about myself to get back on track. Right? But to do that, it has to go through family, through family. So who's safeguarding me? Not just my mother, but my mother's cousin Margaret. So work it out. Safeguards in place, two of them. Then you've got Duck, three. Then you've got myself, makes four. Then you've got Margaret's daughter on top, makes five. The unlikely, which is unlikely, but it's very true because it's family. Family protects family. We don't bullshit by the bush. One can't survive without the other. In fiction or reality, they're both one and the same in this case. Why, when things have been told to you in truth, in all plain eyesight, Who is actually meddling around with it? NSFT, which is true. They don't often know what's unfolding because they're behind desks helping other people that need help. Why, I said to them this morning on the phone, just to put them at mind's ease, I don't need any more appointments. Why? Because I'm still in my 40s. I'm not in my 60s. If I was in my 60s, then I will call out for them. But I'm not 60 years old yet. So things will add up and it will require support in the end anyway. But you've got to be realistic. Things unfold the right way, but things progress in time. Sometimes you might find out I may not need their help and I have to require on family what's left. There are distant families, and connections, new family coming in. Somebody in Wellsworth, / Sheringham, told me your family is bigger in the future than it ever will be, like it was in the past. And you'll have then you got support you need. Right? It will come out as black and white. Right? I know that, but you don't. And a lot of people have pieces of puzzle in their head. They know what's unfolding in truth without having to acknowledge it in the pub and blabbing it off. As another example, I said, one can't survive without the other. Doink. And it's telling the punters in there to grow up, as example. It can happen anywhere in Sheringham, Cromer, Westwanton, or what I call Wellsworth, Crosby, and Knapford. They all know about this. They're not laughing, they're not joking, they're not getting cocky as such, but there you go. But they know what's unfolding. One can't survive without the other. Why? A lot of people make mistakes in their lives. I get that. But this is focused on Duck because Duck fucked up when he was 30 and 40. Fuck up of the century. Why? He should not have fucked up. However, Rex, Bert, and Mike, the Arsdale engines, were also available to me at the time, telling Duck to grow up, being the Great Western Railway engine like he always be, and realistic as he is in human form. Why, a lot of people, his pride is so bloody powerful that people can't work it out. So when I said one can't survive without the other, it's the truth, it's logic, and it's fact. So if I had the NSFT down my throat all the time, I said they don't need to come every 2 or 3 months because that's wrong. Why? I told the person on the phone this morning in polite mode, with no swearing, no cursing, no nothing. I said no more appointments at this point because at this point of time I'm still young. All I have to do is make sure they don't harass me too much because they're not part of my fleet, right? They got other people to see rather than me all the time. But as a Hatt member of the family, ding ding, they're meddling with something that's fact, blood related, and all. You can't. When people tell you these things on the very first podcast about me and how I discovered myself and how I put myself back together again, little pieces come together slowly. We get that. But one can't survive without the other. So by destroying me, you're destroying everything else in front of you. Right? So it destroys me. If you destroy me, you destroy yourself. You kill yourself, basically, in layman terms. And then the cops will ask what fucking went wrong. And then they will look at me saying being the suspect of it all. I will say I warned you. I told you. I shown you. I've tried to put you in perspective. I don't want any more deaths on the plate. Why? I warned you. I told you. I showed you. Let's give you a little right. We know Mufasa from the Lion King, right? It's 2024, isn't it? Yeah, 2024. Work this out then, smart asses. If you think you know it all, let me give you an example, right? I'm gonna just get what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it quite clear. right? Everybody knows the Lion King quite well, right? Right? A lot of you like the Lion King, don't you guys? As example, why it first released as an animated show in 1994, correct? What happened 10 years later? Ding, ding, ding. James Earl Brown, who plays, or James Earl, you know what I mean? James Earl Brown, who is a normally actor who does Mufasa, dead already. James Earl Jones, dead. 10 years after that film was done. So don't tell me I'm a lie on that because that's 10 years later. Or 20 years later, I would say, no enough. Because it's 1990. When it goes to 1994, it goes to 2004. Then you go to 2014. It's about 30, 40 years, I would say. Why in general? Because it's 2024 now. And now he died. Bang. Why? If I take, let's say, I'm going to calculate this just to make sure so you get the right information. What I'm going to do is just going to calculate it so bloody quick because I'm a lot more quicker on my calculations than obviously. Just try and let's put this on. Boom, boom. Right. Right. I'll make it quite clear on a plate for you so you have the right information. Right, 2024, it was 30 years ago since he was in the animated film and he died 30, 30 years later. Ding, ding! 2024 minus 30 years becomes 1994. Now you've got it in black and white. Now that's James Earl Jones for you. So 30 years ago, when it was 1994, bang! Now it's 30 years later, he dies. Wake up and smell the coffee. So one can't survive without the other. So when I said to you there were things around that was hitting all this, something has to do what needs to be done. In every angle. So it's all there, black and bloody white. So one can't survive without the other. So when I said 2024 minus 30 years, you got what people want. 30 years, poof, ends up being 1994 from 2024. So take 30 years off, poof, becomes 1994, the animated series of The Lion King. So it's no lie because I will put it in the description to prove my point. And you can't lie on that. So realistically, when I tell you something in truth and honesty and respect, don't say I was wrong because I'll always be right. You see, many people achieve a lot in their experiences and life that you don't even realize it. And you've got one can't survive without the other. Right? In the day, you're about to lose not something big, but I will say the way you're continuing and the way it's unfolding in front of you, I said things will cough up in the end. And everything about everybody around you, I said, you screwed up majorly. Because you don't know what's unfolding until it comes out to you black and white. So if you think Jones, what's in the animated show in 30 years ago in 1994, now at 2024. So that's another 30 years. I will put that in the prescription as well. I said I never lie about it at all. So just grow up, will you? Because reality catches up with you. Even if it's in fiction, they were telling you in reality what was unfolding. Even if my family has a lot to do with this, which is true, you're ending up with one big problem in the end. So when the people say, "Oh, well, it's all falsification," I said, check your records because it all adds up. So when you really want something bad enough, and you want this, and one can't survive without the other, I said I told you a lot of fiction has got a lot to do with it. Like I said, when people thought it was a laughing matter at the time, I said it isn't. It's just that people don't get the memo very quick enough. I said it's realistic as it comes. One can't survive without the other. So let me get on with my job of fixing this time stream before it gets even more damaged. I said you just witnessed a lot of bloody problems at the moment, and you're just saying, what, Sharing have lost £13,000? I said Wellsworth was like that because it's a pain in the ass area. Right? Like, a lot of people are saying, you were right, you were right, you were right. I said, yeah, probably people are sticking up for me because they know I was right to begin with. Without mentioning no names at all in this predicament, because, like I said, connections lead to me back. Why information that I give always be honest and truthful. If you, a lot of people may not be bothered to watch my channel or understand what's unfolding. I said it's all realistic and black and white. So when you got 1994 in hand, just think about it as 2024 because it's about 30 years on. Just to get it calculated correctly, let me just do it that way, obviously. Boom, boom, boom. Right, plus 30, which it should be. And it was dead on the money. So don't bullshit. Every 30 years, there's going to be a problem occurred. And I got to save your asses to re-correct everything up. So when you think I'm not joking, money talks, bullshit walks. And it's not a joke either on that one. So in the day, reality catches up with everybody, not just fiction. So I said the fiction in reverse tells you exactly what was going to unfold if you reverse it. It maybe sound gobbledygook at first, but the story's there in black and damn white. So if you really want to meddle with time and space yourself, don't bother because every time you go forward, I'm reversing everything. That's why I do a very important job. A very important job indeed. And that's what Mr. C says. And I'm re-quoting that again. That's from Alec Baldwin himself. He said, you're there to re-correct the timeline. Boom, boom. So when I say one can't survive without the other, I said, get it in your heads. I know it's not easy for a lot of people to understand. Read those Thomas Tank books. Now put the right year date in for me. Third gen. So work it out. You had the first gen, second gen, third gen, and senior on top. Senior comes first. Right, so it's reversed. So now you got me, senior, first, second, and third. So wake up and smell a coffee, will you? I've been honest with you from the bottom up. I can't lie about everything no more because I'm too bloody damn honest. I said that even if the cops got involved, I'll always be honest with them. You know, this is real life event. They can't intervene because it'd be a conflict of interest on their part as well as mine. I said we all in this together. We're not bloody separated. We just can't intervene. You know, when personal conflict of interest, you say this in NST or NHS, you say you've got your own rules and regulations. I said, watch out, because the hats are got everything under the radar with your signatures, your names, your places where you live, and departments. People to trust, people we don't trust. Right? There's a lot of things around you can't see. Not at this moment. You have to let things unfold correctly. This is why I said one can't survive without the other. We've been trying to tell you this from day one. People know about it, but they can't put the dots together. So when it unfolds in front of you, you're going to have to start waking up. I know the taxi drivers know about this to a certain level degree. The people that I know, private connections and connections, they all know about this. So why try and meddle with something that's unfolding in truth? Right? My private connection from America told you this. My private connection from Australia has told you this. That's two. Plus myself makes three. Then you got my mother plus four. Then you're adding in people that think they know it all. I said, yeah, well, there's some people that getting information, yes. But in the intel mode, ding, 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 ding. Mattel did not know about this, so they screwed. Selling it off, Thomas and Friends franchise, and turning it into 2D, big mistake. You see, one can't survive without the other. So, if you want the fourth generation or the fifth generation of the hacks, you have to leave me alone and let me do the job I was set out to do. I've got my path and my journey and my destiny enfold in correct mode. All you have to do is let it play out. That's all you can do. You can't go jump, 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 jump. We can intervene. We can intervene. Do you know what? I know sometimes, sometimes there's a lot of things that happened in the past that you have to do it again and again and again to get everything corrected. If my dead grandfather knew about this, so do I now. So don't don't expect any more information at this moment. I will let you watch your lives unfold, and it will all come to light because it will unfold naturally, and then it will say one can't survive without the other. Like I said, there's a pattern between us which no one couldn't see but myself and my connections and colleagues and so forth. But there are some people that don't know it that well, right? A lot of people will start asking questions. Very, very big questions, right? Sometimes people push, push, push to get what they want. I said, don't ask for what you want. You have to wait now because it's all needs, respect, honesty, trust. But to get what you want, you have to wait for it now. It's a bit of a waiting game, a little bit. I get where you're coming from. There's a lot of facts that are coming in truth. I said one can't survive without the other. We talk about fiction and reality, but that's similar. But this is a book that was based on reality from beginning to end. It goes through my family, not just yours, 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 yours. I said it's everybody's. But you got to work out where the cycle is. You know, when people give it to you on a silver plate, don't spit them in the faces like me. Because you done it on me, and you tried it on me, and I told you to back off. Right? The Norfolk Railway weren't happy with that attitude, but they had to get it from their own boss anyway. So realistically, if you want something done correctly, one can't survive without the other. You know, every day, even when I stated to you, why a lot of things unfold for a reason. You're playing with something that is reality. When it when it's told in fiction to a point, there's a lot of reality in the book. Very lot of it. When my friend stated in the very first podcast, it's all reality. Facts are in there for a reason. Right? When somebody quoted to me yesterday, you're continuing the story. You are the realistic version. You are the real McCoy. That's what they say to me because they know what's unfolding in front of them. Right? That's without giving out names. But I will tell you now. I'll be honest with you straight from the horse's mouth. Don't fuck around what's unfolding in truth. You can't. So, you see what I say? One can't survive without the other. It's fact, it's truth, and it's logic. Right? People make mistakes, silly mistakes, and they add up and they add up and they make a little. Right? Let me give you an example. Right? We all talk about what engines do you own? I said, look, did you get what I'm talking about these days? My fleet already aware of the anomalous tip from these three anomalous engines. As example, like Lexi, Hurricane, and Merlin, not part of my fleet. That's why they've been bugging me all these time. Why they're trying to. Right? I told them if they keep doing it, they screw up. Then you've got to work out. Okay, let's do it this way. Right? I already told the NSFT to back off, right? But I did it in the nicest way, not in a rude way. So when I say what's the world that spins so well, but one can't survive without the other, which is true. So you're getting the fourth gen, but you've got to let me play it out. You got the third gen, you got me and my lady, but my lady hasn't connected with me yet. Why? Because she needs support. She's very sensitive, if you would like to call it correctly. I know who she is. So did my dead grandfather. So I'm not lying about something. This is not Sir Topham Hatt the first we're talking about. We're talking about my mother's father. And while my mother's still alive, she can still live to tell the tale. Why? Because it's realistic. You see, you're meddling with reality of it. So it was unfolding in truth every 20 to 30 years. Ding, ding, ding. It's all reality. When it all breaks down in the bucket for you, one can't survive without the other. It's reality. So if you're gonna break up reality, then you're fucking screwed. You'll be dead. You're probably gonna be buried. I said I don't need that. But the fact that you're seeing it gives you hope. It gives a sense of momentum to stand up and realize what is right from wrong. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this. You want to be on the right side of this. I'm telling you, one can't survive without the other. It's just a metaphor quote, but it's realistic. If you all want to tempt fate and realize this isn't bullshit crap, what you always say in your mouth, it's no BS at all. Never has been, never will be. You just have to watch it unfold just like I did. And then you'll all say, oh crap, the fat man did know what he was talking about. And that's what you will be saying. Because I'll always catch, I'm a lot ahead. I'm ahead of schedule of the NSFT for obvious reasons. Even the NHS on top of that. Even if I have to have ROT to get round them, I always say, don't touch what you can't afford unless you can really afford me. This is why it runs with the family. It stays with the family, works round. It doesn't involve duck all the time because it works on another half of the family. But without mentioning too many letters or anything. You already know what needs to be done. So do I. I don't need a BS with that either because it's true. When everything unfolds around you, you're going to appreciate it and understand it ahead of schedule. A lot of people will appreciate it more because they be correcting stuff, putting things right, putting everything correctly again. My fourth gen will do that, and my fifth gen will do that. So I'll be around for that time period. Like I stated, one can't survive without the other. So if you try and tarnish something that is completely reality, why do you think it's all there in black and damn white? In every angle. So If you really want to do it in that fashion, I tell you now, I've been honest with you with everything else. All you have to do is watch it unfold naturally. But all of us, a lot of family members have railway codes that know what they were doing. They can be helped by their grandparents to the grandsons, etc. How it unfolds naturally. Then it connects. But then you've got to work out why. One can't survive without the other. I know my connection, but I'm not allowed to liberty say. But one can't survive without the other. When people moan about this, I said to you that the NSFT has got nothing to do with this. Because they are part of it, yes, but not with me personally. Why? Because one can't survive without the other. So now the truth is there in black and white. You've got the Lion King connection, 1994, then add 30 years, becomes 2024, when James Earl Jones died on you. There you go. Thank you very much. And every angle.